This is Lewis Hart for Boxing Social in association with Empire Fights on our King's Competitions. Delighted to be joined with Tony Sims here in Bethnal Green ahead of obviously your son Charlie's promotional debut. Huge boxing at York Hall on the 13th of December. I'm just finished the press conferences, but before we do get into it, how's things, mate? How are you?
Yeah, I'm good. Yeah, thank you very much. Yeah, all good, mate. Back where I was born in Bethnal Green.
Absolutely, and back obviously at York Hall on Friday. Yeah, obviously a big night for your family. Sort of putting the show on at York Hall with a lot of your fighters. I'm sure you'll be very, very busy on Friday night. But yeah, looking forward to Friday night and everything that gets into it.
Yeah, as you say, it's my son's first show he's promoting, and Charlie, and you know, he's been extremely busy putting it together, and like we're finally around the corner to it happening. And as you say, I got the top of the bill on George Liddard in a 10-round main event, and so I'm looking forward to Friday. Yeah.
I guess when it comes to sort of that idea of becoming a promoter, and I guess having that conversation with Charlie, like, what was that like when he was like, you know, obviously been involved with the fighters for quite some time, but he said, you know, if I want to get involved in a promotional aspect, like, how did that conversation come about?
Yeah, I think well, it sort of come about as that we wanted to do shows in London for our like Essex or London-based fighters. Really, I mean, obviously some of them with Matchroom, and obviously Matchroom have to promote up and down the country, and it's not always viable for their friends and family to keep making them trips up north when they fight. And I think Charlie spoke about it to me about starting to put on London shows, and for basically more for our London fighters. But I think as soon as he started putting it together, obviously Matchroom have put on Shannon Ryan, and then Queensbury have put on Carol Atuma. So the blend of the show's gone really well. It's like good fighters on there, good prospects on there, and I think it makes for a great night of boxing. And also combined with the two big companies, promotional companies in Britain as well, to have their fighters on the card.
And I guess for the London boys, you say your people like your George Lillards, you know, Maisie Rose, Jimmy Sains, like Matchroom isn't sort of, they don't always go to York Hall, but that would be a massive sort of catchment area where they can sell tickets and bring a good crowd along. So that must be part of what you see to sort of get them at York Hall, which is, you know, it's familiar territory for them.
Yeah, of course, and it's strange because when Charlie put the show on at York Hall, we didn't know that George, Jimmy or Maisie had never boxed at the York Hall, even though they're like London fighters, and which just goes to show that when obviously the big promoters put the shows on, like Matchroom, they like you say, they don't promote at the York Hall, so a lot of the London fighters never get the chance to box at this iconic arena. And it's a great historic place to actually fight as a pro, and you know, it's good that Charlie's doing the show and these young fighters have got the opportunity to actually box there.
And I think for yourself, you know, you'll see, especially in the southeast area, the southern area, the promotional game is one that is very saturated, and there's a lot of promoters and you know, even sort of the battle to get TV dates, you know, obviously this one being on DAZN and York Hall dates and venues and this and that, you know, it's very difficult. So how important is it, I guess, that Huge Boxing and Charlie can be sort of something authentic and different?
Yeah, like you say, you know, there's a lot of promoters about at the moment, but there's obviously not a lot of promoters with TV deals, and I think getting DAZN to screen the fight was a big thing, and obviously you know, it gives the fighters on the undercard as well an opportunity to get screened live on TV, and you know, it's I think like to be Charlie's first show and getting TV on his first show is a big thing, and you know, he's young as well, and he's enthusiastic, and he's got to put a great card together.
Did want to touch on obviously some of the fighters on the cards, George Liddard and Jimmy Sains. For yourself, when you've got two prospects that are like on a similar trajectory, like, I guess how good is that to have, that you're having sort of two people that are they're on almost identical journeys in a way? Does it make it easier, I guess, as a trainer?
Well, George is a little bit in front of Jimmy. I think he turned pro the year before Jimmy turned pro, so he's obviously a bit far in front, and that's why he's obviously topping the bill in a 10-rounder. But it's good for them both training together because they spar and they're all both learning. But as I say, George is already on to 10-rounders, so he's a little bit in front of Jimmy. But they're both great prospects. They've both got good boxing brains. Technically, they're very good, and they can both, they're both heavy hitters as well. So they're both exciting prospects coming through, like Essex, London. They're both good prospects coming through.
For George, is the aim? I know he's got this fight on Friday night, but the aim is still Jordan Reynolds potentially sort of at the first quarter of 25.
Yeah, I believe that fight's going to happen the 31st of January. At the Indigo at the O2, and that will be a big fight, and another good fighter from London, Jordan Reynolds, unbeaten as well. So London's starting to light up with young prospects coming through, and these times are exciting.
Definitely. Whilst I've got you, Tony, I did want to ask about Conor Benn. Obviously, he's in Hamburg right now at the WBC convention. What is the likelihood that we do see the Mario Barrios fight? Is that the option that you would like to see him take?
Well, he's back now, actually. He come back yesterday. But obviously, there's a potential of that fight. There's a potential of the Eubank fight. So negotiations are going on at the moment. And it's really down to what makes more sense, really. And, obviously, a lot of the British crowd, a lot of the British public would want to see the Eubank Benn fight. It's been going on for a long time, a lot of talk around it, and obviously their fathers both fought each other a couple of times, and the public would like to see that. But at the same time, Conor still wants to win a world title, and this opportunity could arise for him. So he's highly ranked with the WBC #2, and the #1 Sissoko is obviously injured at the moment, so it puts him in prime position. So we'll just have to wait and see. But he's in a good position at the moment.
Do you think, like, the Eubank fight is obviously a massive fight, but when you do hear Eddie Hearn in numerous interviews, he talks about sort of the passion that Ben has to win a world title. Do you think he recognises it now that that legacy of being a world champion is important to Conor Benn?
It's important to any boxer to fight for the world title and win a world title. That's like the ultimate goal. Before you turn professional, you're obviously dreaming of that, and when you turn professional, you work your way all the way towards that. And he's in a great position at the moment to be able to fight for that. But at the same breath, the Eubank fight is still hanging over him, and obviously financially it makes a lot of sense if that fight gets made. So we'll see what comes out of it all.
And something I did want to ask you as well. Obviously, the situation is almost pretty clear now. Obviously, the UCAD didn't choose to appeal, and Robert Smith's been open. He said, if Conor Benn wanted to reapply for a license, he would get one, or he said he'd be open to having that conversation. Do you think that is a conversation that can be had with Conor Benn being licensed under the border control again?
Yeah, sure. And if the border open for that, then that's a great opportunity for Conor to re-get his British licence back, and he's a British subject and citizen, and it'd be great for that to happen.
Definitely, Tony. Always a pleasure. Appreciate taking time to speak to me. And all the best on Friday night. Thank you, mate. Cheers. Thank you. Top man. Thank you. Cheers, mate.